the important thing to note about trauma is it's perceived. It's an experience. So what might be trauma to me might not be trauma to you, but it's an experience in our life and then the effect that that has on us. So trauma, it impacts my expectations about the world. It changes the way I enter into a relationship. It changes the way I expect you to respond to me. And so it can be an experience or a series of experiences that change my expectations about the world. I think for me, I look for my belief system and think about where did those beliefs come from. And so when I identify a negative belief that I have, even about myself, trying to look back, where might I have started to believe that? And lots of times that's where we'll find trauma. And so when talking or reflecting even with friends or family, if there's something that I believe about myself that other people say, that's not true, looking for, well, when did I start to believe that? And is it possible that that belief system came out of trauma? And is it possible that there's another explanation? So if my belief is that I cause bad things to happen, and I look back through my history and find, oh my goodness, well, when I was little, lots of bad things did happen. As an adult, I see now that that wasn't my fault. But that little kid me believed that it was. And so as an adult, I can look back and think, okay, that wasn't my fault. Maybe I don't cause bad things to happen. And maybe I am worth being in relationship with. But I think once we've identified that, then it becomes looking for that person who is safe, who can help me process and develop a different belief system. So lots of times we go into childcare settings and we see children that are labeled with they're oppositional or they're defiant or they're hyperactive. And when I think about these children and I look at what it causes curiosity in me, I wonder why they're opposing what that adult wants. I wonder why they're defying what's going on when other kids aren't. And I wonder why they're so hyperactive and moving around all the time. That curiosity sparks in me the desire to ask questions and to look and to seek. And I think most of the children that we see, they want somebody to be curious about them. And so I looked to a little child in a daycare setting who was oppositional, defiant, kind of running all around that room. And when a consultant goes in and they start asking those questions and wondering, they learn that, a lot of stuff's happened to that kid. They've moved through 3 or 4 caregivers. And here this is their 4th daycare as a result of that. And so just a little bit of talking to that kid about, I bet sometimes it's scary that you're not going to be here for a long time. And what we know is that you're here right now. And how can we help it feel better for you? The first step is recognizing that you've been affected by trauma, looking for those beliefs about the world or about yourself that seem to be a little bit different than the rest of society, and then being curious about that. So starting with asking questions of yourself, and where did I learn to believe that or to think that way? And once you've identified that you've been affected by trauma, it becomes a life journey of starting to challenge those belief systems. Sometimes people need professional help with that to hear from a professional that, hey, this wasn't my fault and I am a worthwhile person. So I think that can be helpful. There are evidence-based techniques like child-parent psychotherapy, even parent-child interaction therapy. It teaches parents a new way of interacting with their children. Parents who might believe that I don't have what it takes for my child or I can't help them heal, learn through this type of therapy that they do have what it takes and they can help their child heal and grow. And sometimes it's looking for a strong support system through friends. Some people find help through their spiritual beliefs and finding somebody in their local church or synagogue that they believe can be helpful and can help them make new um, belief systems about themselves and about the world. But I think the important part is that it usually isn't done alone. We heal from trauma through relationships. There's a lot of research out there now that shows that the healing from trauma comes through secure attachment relationships. So finding that person that we can trust to heal. And if we can find that in our direct support network, great. But if we can't, looking through professional help or through local supports where we can find that trusting relationship to help us heal. There is definitely hope for people who've been impacted by trauma. I think that's the wonderful way about the way our minds work, that we learn and grow through experience. And a negative experience can change our expectations about the world, but a positive experience can change them too. And as our brains experience more of these positive relationships and start to learn that people can be trusted in certain circumstances and learn those circumstances where people can be trusted, our brain grows and challenges those old concepts and beliefs. And so there is always hope that we can learn to believe that we are worthwhile human beings that have a lot to contribute to the world.